if you blink, you might miss some news. That's where we're at in the world of Notre Dame football. We had uh, Howard Cross announcing that he's coming back for a sixth season. Bo Collins, the Clemson receiver transfer on Sunday, announcing that he's coming to Notre Dame. So that was just on December 10th. And December 11th, we get some quarterback news. Nothing on an incoming transfer just yet, at least at the time of recording this on Monday, December 11th, just before 1 p.m. Eastern. But we do have news about what the bowl game is going to look like. And the big news is that Sam Hartman will not be playing in the bowl game, and Steve Angeli will. We're going to dive into a reaction with myself and Blue and Gold beat writer Tyler Horka in this video. Before we do that, please hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to our channel for more content, and head over to blueandgold.com for so much more news. Okay, now Tyler, I've been doing this for a long time, this line of work. I've never seen the decision to end my football career in a video that doesn't really explicitly state it. And then Notre Dame announcing that, for folks who haven't watched this, it's hysterical. Notre Dame announcing that Steve Angeli is starting without really even saying it, but you can figure it out like, hey, it's peanut butter and jelly time. What a world we live in, Tyler. So, yeah, this news happens. What's some of your initial reactions here?
Yeah, you mentioned the Sam Hartman Instagram video, over 5 minutes in length. I think we have to start there, even though these two things happened within, 30 minutes of each other or less? I don't know. That's the way, like you said, college football news cycle operates these days. But yeah, we got to go back to that Instagram video that you're showing right there, because you watch all 5 minutes of that, and it honestly felt like a quick 5 minutes to me, because his career lasted 6 years and there's so much that went into it. I mean, you're reminded of the rib thing and all of the hardships that he went through at Wake Forest, even though he was only at Notre Dame for a year. But like you said, Mike, you never got the explicit, hey, I'm not going to play in the Sun Bowl announcement. Good thing Notre Dame followed up 30 minutes later, whatever it was. And with whatever that was too, the peanut butter and I mean that goes back to like high school for me, or middle school even, whatever that little GIF video. I mean that was like that's pure peak 2012 2013 memeing right there with the peanut butter and jelly thing. But yeah, what this means going forward for Notre Dame is what we all kind of expected, I think. Even though that's Sam Hartman, I forget after what game it was. Maybe it was the Wake Forest game. It was senior day where he said 2 more, right? And that would have meant Stanford and whoever Notre Dame plays in a bowl game. But as I wrote at blueandgold.com, Mike, the Sun Bowl thing, when that came out on Sunday, I think a lot of Notre Dame fans were like, what the heck? And it's not really the Sun Bowl as much as it is the opponent. Notre Dame is playing an 8-4 Oregon State team that's going to be down to a third-string quarterback, a guy in Ben Gulbranson who has thrown 1 pass this season. I think the optics of that, I think it was easier for Sam Hartman. Let me say this, and I don't know if you agree. It was easier for Sam Hartman to say, yeah, I'm going to step away from this thing, knowing that Notre Dame's going against the third-string quarterback for Oregon State. And I think this is a really good spot for Steve Angeli to get his first career start. And it's a weird one, though, because the wide receiver core is going to look a lot different for Notre Dame. 4 guys left. You didn't mention Bo Collins at the beginning of this. It's not like he can play in this game. It's not like they're getting Bo Collins for this Sun Bowl roster. So it's a good spot for Angeli, but it's a weird one as well, because he's going out there with a Notre Dame team that does not look anything like it did for the 2023 regular season.
Yeah, I'm still. If you would have told me after Hartman declared, hey, 2 more games, maybe he meant 2 more games for the season for this team and not specifically him. Who knows?
It was a little funny when he said that. I will say that. I was sitting there front and center, and I was like, okay, yeah, 2 more. I think that's going to be circumstantial. And like I said, turns out he's not playing in the Sun Bowl against Oregon State. Like this game matters more for Marcus Freeman and for the program to get 10 wins than it was ever going to mean for Sam Hartman. So I think it makes sense for him to walk away. And I know people have their thoughts on opt-outs, and he's not a huge NFL prospect, so why are you sitting out this game type of thing? Like, if he's Caleb Williams, you don't play in this for sure, but he's Sam Hartman, and he's not going to go in the first round. So I don't know. You can say whatever you want, but it's still a Sun Bowl. I'm not surprised he's opting out.
Yeah, but then, okay. I have a lot of thoughts on Hartman right now. And I need to gather more of them. So maybe by the Wednesday night show with Tim Hyde,
Oh, yeah.
maybe if you want to jump in there with us, Horka,
Yeah.
there's your invite. Because yeah, like I was kind of starting to thought, if you would have told me after the Wake game that Hartman was not going to play in the bowl game after what he said, that I'd be pretty shocked. But then, kind of as things have developed the past week or two, this is not surprising. But I had said previously, if Hartman opts out of this bowl game, then I think he's a fraud. After being so rah Notre Dame, I'm everything Notre Dame. This is it, and then to skip the bowl game.
Yeah.
It does not sit well with me. Maybe we'll get more clarification on why he is moving forward. If it's something like the injury thing, like, then why play in the Stanford game? I mean,
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
You could have put me and Tyler out there, probably still beat Stanford. At the quarterback position, right? So, but we'll move on for that. Angeli, though, this has been the guy I've been very high on since his junior year of high school. I've been kind of leading that bandwagon. So I'm really excited to see what the former Bergen Catholic quarterback can do. State champion as a senior, didn't play really at all as a freshman. No, he got a few snaps, and then without starting, you put in your story like he has not played a first half this season. He will in the Sun Bowl. But in that mop-up duty, he's looked really as good as you can ask for. Yeah, what do you expect to see from him? He's not going to have Blake Fisher. We would assume he's not going to have Joe Alt. But still, it's not like he's going to have, Jack Sobel and Kyle Kelly as his tackles. It's still going to be like Tosh Baker, Charles Jagsaw, Emil Wagner, something like that. Wagner and Jagasaw 5-star recruits, so it's not like you're throwing out scrubs there. Receiver room's going to look a lot different. Still going to have a good tight end group, even without Audric Estime, we would assume. Jeremiah Love, Jadarian Price, good running back. So I don't know, thoughts on Steve Angeli moving forward in light of all of this news, Tyler, that Notre Dame's probably going to get Riley Leonard. So it's like this, even if Angeli is never going to start a game after this at Notre Dame, maybe this is his only game he starts, could be like a really good resume builder for him, down the road. I don't know, just some thoughts on Angeli.
Yeah, I guess I'll start with that last point and work back to what you were saying before that. It really feels Gator Bowl like with Tyler Buchner almost, where yeah, he might go out there and Tyler Buchner was the MVP of the Gator Bowl, 5 touchdowns. I know he threw 3 interceptions and 2 of those returned for South Carolina touchdowns, but it kind of feels like, yeah, he has this moment and we're not sure if he's going to parlay it into something special at Notre Dame or like Tyler Buchner did, parlayed it into a transfer to Alabama. And I know it didn't work out for him there, but I know Tommy Rees was a big part of that, but Tyler Buchner still, the last thing that you saw from him on a college football field was on a Saturday. Obviously, we had spring practice, and Sam Hartman was better than him then. But Tyler Buchner went from Gator Bowl MVP to now I'm on the roster at Alabama. And it feels like if Steve Angeli chooses, he could do something similar where maybe he wins Sun Bowl MVP, and the next time that you see him play in an actual college football game is starting a game somewhere else for somebody else. It's not going to be Alabama, but remember, Tyler Buchner started a game against South Florida for Alabama. It didn't go well, like I said, but he was there. That's what he did. That's what he used the Gator Bowl performance as. In terms of what we're going to see from Angeli, like you were saying, he still has really talented players around him, and Oregon State has a slew of guys who have opted out. So if they're 8-4, the roster that they're bringing to El Paso, Texas is probably more like 6-6 or 7-5. If you're going to go all the way down to a third string quarterback and they're missing 2 pass catching options, you talk about Steve Angeli missing some pass catching options, that quarterback is going to be as well. So I do kind of hate it for him that he doesn't get to throw to a Chris Tyree even. Like I thought Chris Tyree was great this year. I know Mitchell Evans has been hurt for over a month now, but it would have been nice to have Mitchell Evans. By the time that you're watching this, Audric Estime may have opted out. I'm not reporting that news, but I'm speculating. But like you were saying, Mike, it's not like you're going from a Blake Fisher to, holy cow, this guy can't start at Power 5. Like Emil Wagner can start at a lot of places, and they're going to be fine with him. And if Estime opts out, it's not like, oh no, Steve Angeli's not going to have a running game. He's got Jeremiah Love. He's got Jadarian Price. Like Jabron Payne's a really good football player too. He's going to be fine with who's helping him out in the running game. So I think he's going to play well. I think Steve Angeli is going to play really well. You talked about how you kind of been beating his drum since his recruitment. Since I got here 2 years ago, and I guess Angeli's only been here for the last 2 years. I'm almost going on 3 years now on this beat, but I really liked Angeli this entire time too. I see him in practice. I There's thoughts out there from me at blueandgold.com that I thought that Steve Angeli had one of the best fall camps of any quarterback I've ever seen, because you can't really look at Sam Hartman's fall camp and be like, yeah, he was really trying to show everything he's got. He was saving himself to start 12 games in the regular season. Steve Angeli, meanwhile, last fall camp, you could tell he was putting it all out on the line, and he made really good throws, made really good plays. I think he saved that up for this bowl game, for this opportunity. You didn't know when Steve Angeli was going to start his first game, but now here we are. It's happening. I think he's going to play really well given all the crazy circumstances.
Yeah. So that's the news. Sam Hartman opting out for the Sun Bowl. He's played his last collegiate game. Steve Angeli, Notre Dame sophomore quarterback, will get the start. Make sure you tune in Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time show. Myself and Tim Hyde for sure. Maybe we'll get Tyler in there. Who knows? Goolsby could pop in to talk about this news. I'm reserving more judgment on the Hartman situation. I just need to gather my thoughts for a couple days, maybe see what other information comes out, but certainly excited for Angeli to see what he can do in this wacky Sun Bowl with all of the opt-outs. And it's just like two different teams at this point between Notre Dame and Oregon State from what you saw from the regular season. But we'll wrap up the video there. Please hit that thumbs up before you get out of here, folks. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are new here. Go to blueandgold.com for much more reaction on this news, as well as our loose emoji message board where thousands of Notre Dame fans are chiming in as well. Appreciate you all, and as always, we will catch you next time.